you have two stepdaughters, and then you've got one of your own as well, and then you've got the baby on the way.
Yeah.
So where do they fit in all into how does it work doing all these really cool experiences with your husband and then the kids?
Well, I think what's interesting is that we have both ends of the age spectrum. So my stepdaughters right now are 15 and 16 years old. And I met them when they were 7 and 6, around that age. And so I've kind of already gone through the harder teenage years. And we're kind of at the other end now. And then my youngest is 3 years old. And then I am 6 months pregnant at the moment. For the two oldest, honestly, they're little maker spacers, like they can handle themselves with a 3D printer. They can handle themselves with a CNC. They can build things with hammers and saws. And so a lot of times, especially when we didn't have childcare, and they couldn't stay home alone during the summer camps, they were in the camps. And actually they weren't just like in them. They were like our assistant teachers, and we've always had them in those roles. And so even this summer, we have a weekly club where my husband goes and works at the makerspace and just has kids coming doing their own projects. Sometimes the girls will join him to help him out and give an extra hand. And it's kind of lend itself to them finding like their own passions. Our oldest really loves to crochet, and she likes doing things with her hands. And the 15-year-old loves to do things with pottery. And so I think modeling to them of the idea of like, we're going to be producers and not just consumers has been an important aspect, and it kind of created our own family values because they're working alongside us. And then our 3-year-old is seeing all these things, and she loves playing with her hands. She loves those kind of activities, and she loves art. We're so excited for the time where it's like somewhat appropriate to put a saw in her hand. Can't do it just yet.
I love it. Somewhat appropriate to put a saw in 3-year-old's hands.
And so I think, I just kind of molded our family values together. And with the other one on the way, we're going to have 4 girls. So we have my own little mini basketball team here. And I think for my husband and I, it's been really fun because, raising girls is difficult, in this environment. And I feel like we're raising really empowered, competent, stubborn girls, which is a neat thing to see.
That answer is beautiful. It's amazing. And I essentially, I think if we distill it, it's you invited your oldest girls into the process, and they were welcomed into your world with your husband. It wasn't something that only the two of you did. And then, hey, kids stay over here, adults go over there. You invited them into it. And it's so cool to hear that here they are, they're 15 and 17, and they're like coming in to help from time to time when your husband is hosting his, open sessions, and he just needs a few sets of extra hands that know what they're doing with the tools and all of that.
And we're grateful that they're willing to, right? You kind of also show them the value of money, right? This is what we have to work for, so we can have the extras. And it, they are working. They are, a bit of a job here, and that's nice for them to see. Like, hey, if we want to go on these family vacations and get off the hour drive island and see other parts of the world, we need to put in some extra time here and there. And so they can see then how much my husband and I really do. And I think that also helps to create a mutual respect for each other. Yeah. We are very fortunate and how they kind of are receptive to all these things. Of course, we could have got some teenagers that are like, nah, I'm not coming. I'm not helping you. This is your work. But they are willing, and they actually ask, even today. I think my husband just went off to make a club just now, and my other daughter was like, do you need Lisa to go and help you? And they're always considering that, which is really cool.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That is super cool. But I think that kids' demeanors and their temperaments and all of that comes with their package when they arrive, right? So we can't change that too much. But I think you all did something really important here from what I'm hearing. And of course, I'm sure there were many years of steps involved here, but it was that invitation process. It sounds like, you invited them into something at a very young age. And I think that's what helps a lot too, to get to the point where, wow, they're so into it and helpful, and they're thoughtful, and they're really thinking about, what it takes to deliver a good result. But it's because they've been a part of that process for the better part of 10 years. And they were invited to it. And for me, the takeaway as a parent of a very young little girl who's not there yet, like maybe a 3 or 4
Yeah.
or 5, I'll start to invite her into something. But I am trying to be thoughtful about how and what I invite her into. Like on Tuesdays and Thursdays during the summer, I carved out the entire mornings so that I can be with her. So we started doing things I love doing. So I thought, let's go to the coffee shop. I love going to the coffee shop. That's a big deal for me. So she comes with me and it's awesome. She sits with me at the coffee shop and it's just fun to do that. And it's simple. It's a very small version of this, but it's an invitation, right? And I feel like you guys took that one level further once the girls were old enough and you're like, hey, let's invite you into this other thing we do so you can be a part of it and learn it and all that. And, fast forward 10 years and that's what happened. This is what you get. Really incredible young ladies who are truly part of your team.
But it is a team. And like those business meetings I talked about, sometimes they're included in that because they need to have input into the decisions that we're making. I mean, even now, they're off for summer and sometimes we have a 3D printing project that ends up on Mondays, goes past 5 p.m. when our youngest daycare is up. So they have to be on board that they're going to be helping us every Monday watching their younger sister. And those are decisions that do affect them, and we need to have them be okay with that.
I really appreciate that you shared so openly about this dynamic and what's going on. And I am exploring more about the family side because when people think reinvention, a lot of times it's reinventing your career, and we focus so much on career. But it's not about just your career. It's reinventing all areas of your life to keep up with who you're becoming. That also includes family and the people around you. It's not just your career. It's your health and your wellness, your family, it's your wealth, it's your job, it's your spirituality. It's all the areas of your life that surround you. And those are the things we reinvent. And, maybe we have to adjust the relationship we have with our kids. Maybe they need to be part of the team so that we could really make all of this work. And so what does that mean then? Oh, well, I guess we better invite them, because if they don't receive an invitation, then will they want this later on? You took that step. You guys invited them. And I think that was such a key thing.